Two top games here this afternoon. First up, the clash of Longford and Laois. Now, under Glenn Ryan, Longford had another great league campaign, but will that be enough against Laois, who beat Longford narrowly in last year's championship? Darragh Maloney, watch this one.
Longford play is selected. David Barton passed a fitness test on Friday. His inclusion is a big boost to the Division 3 champions. Michael Quinn has been earning rave reviews since his return from Aussie Rules football. Sean McCormick had a superb league campaign. He will really test Laois today. It's an experienced Laois 15 with Ross Munnelly and Padraig Clancy still performing at the highest level, having been part of the 0-3 Leinster winning side. Gary Walsh has been selected at corner forward, and Padraig McMahon is on the bench, having only rejoined the panel 3 weeks ago after injury. Laois, as you can see, playing in mostly white because of the clash of colours with the home team Longford. Here's Padraig Clancy. Laois need a big game from him today. And now Colin Begley, and there's the first score of the game for Laois. Padraig Clancy is going to test out Barry Gilleran, the Longford fullback, in a serious way today. And that was tidy, efficient football from Laois. Shane Mulligan letting it off to Bernard McElvaney. Blocked down, but Longford still in possession. Shane Mulligan again. Very tidy wing back, just eases past Darren Strong, and here come Longford. Great chance, Paul Barton through. Oh, just wide, just a fraction wide from the Longford captain. That was great football. Some big powerful men in this Laois defence, and Paul Barton just cut a hole right through them, and Culliton didn't know an awful lot about that. Glenn Ryan still waiting for his first win in the Leinster Championship as the Longford manager, but they've made huge strides over the last 2 years. Conor Boyle of Laois, keeping that low up to Ross Munnelly, who's got a yard or two on Declan Riley, the left corner back, and Munnelly having a go, and that is a gorgeous point from Ross Munnelly. He's in flying form at the moment. Almost on the sideline, the angle very difficult, and Laois lead by 2 points to no score. Variation on the kick out from Damien Sheridan in the Longford goal. David Barton trying to link things up, and now it's Colin P. Smith. Paul Barton went so close early on to scoring a goal. They need their first score, and he's given it to them. Very fine point from Paul Barton, the Longford captain, showing the rest how it's done. And that has come at just the right time for Longford. 16th minute, and Barton with a fine score, and finally they're off the mark. Conor Boyle for Laois. Clancy has been drawn away from the middle. Now it's Kevin Meaney, the captain. Longford have players back, numbers back to try and cover this as Gary Walsh spins, turns and scores. That's a fabulous point from Gary Walsh. Longford felt, and would have felt, that they had defenders back to cover this, but Walsh turning on a sixpence. Ross Munnelly, Laois leading by 5 points to 2. John O'Loughlin just spoons it out to Darren Strong, and that's a corker of a point from Darren Strong. That's his second. The right half back, when he gets in those advanced positions, knows exactly what to do. But better, much better from Laois. Longford dressing room won't be a very happy place at half-time. Paul Kelly, Michael Quinn. Well, this could work out well. Sean McCormick in towards goal. Brilliantly worked goal. And Longford have finally arrived in Pearse Park. 4 minutes into the second half. They have started very well. Barton close to a goal in the first half, and he's got one now, and that should give Longford the lift they need. Here's Kevin Meaney. He's such a difficult man to try and stop, and he's still going. Padraig Clancy did think for half a second about having a go himself. Now it's Meaney. Great save. Really good save from Damien Sheridan in the Longford goal. Laois found goals hard to come by in recent championship years in Leinster. And this was as close as they've come. David Barton again. Paul Barton. David again, and Paul, very tight area there, operating in, and that's a really good score from Paul Bard, the captain. He got the goal at the start of the second half, which we thought would really kickstart Longford's challenge. But the Bardens combining extremely well, and that is more like it from Longford. Wexford await for the winners, a date in Croke Park. Longford have been there already this year. Here's Michael Quinn. What about that from Quinn? A wonderful score. And Longford draw level. They were down and out at half-time. Nothing worked for them in this game so far, but this has been a brilliant comeback. Can they finish the job? Laois all over the place at the moment. Paul Kelly just puts on the afterburners and goes, and nobody from Laois can get near it. Brendan Quigley fouled him there. Referee, let's play, develop. Now it's Francis McGee, blocked down by Conor Boyle, and the shot from McCormick has gone over. What a stunning point from Sean McCormick. Shoot on sight, and Longford lead for the very first time in Pearse Park. Outstanding score. McCormick, the quickest to react, and Longford now have something to protect. They lead by 1. Brian Kavanagh, it's down at the right end from a Longford point of view. Laois need it back quickly. Longford lead by 1. Kavanagh to give them a 2-point cushion. That is an outstanding point from Brian Kavanagh. From such a difficult angle. Laois haven't scored since the 11th minute of the second half. We're in the last minute, and Longford have put over 7 points in a row. They lead by 2. But this game not done yet. Colin Kelly getting out in front of Declan Riley. That time it's a free in, a free to Laois. But they're going to have to try and engineer something. They are 2 points down. First minute of 3 to be added on. Colin Begley, they badly need this. The shooting has let them down. It's gone into the back of the net, and Laois have scored a goal. But no, hang on. The referee has given a free. The goal will not stand. There were players in the square. It's a square ball. You can't be in the square when the ball is played in from a free. So Longford led off the hook, but Laois had 2 players in the square when the ball came in from the free, and you can't do that. But a big, big let off for Longford. The goal does not stand. And there is the full-time whistle. It's all over here in Pearse Park, and Longford have beaten Laois for the first time in 44 years. It's their first win in the Leinster Championship since 2007. There'll be talk long after today a bit about that goal that was disallowed at the end. But Longford have won. They go back to Croke Park and they play Wexford again. But Longford have beaten Laois by 110 to 12 points.
You know, in the first half we had momentum for a long period. Second half they had that period of momentum. Just games happen like that. There are ebbs and flows. Obviously we should have killed that momentum. We should have punished them more clinically than we did. But it's one of those things hopefully we can learn from.
It looked like it was a game that we never looked like winning for long periods. It's very similar last year in ways to our game against Laois, where I thought we dominated and kicked it away. I think there was periods there where they dominated and probably kicked it away too, so I'm sure they'll be going away with a lot of the feelings we had last year.
Glenn Ryan there with one of his selectors. That's, in fairness, fantastic victory for Longford.
Fantastic victory, and it's been a fantastic year from them. Since 2010 they've been on the up. They had a terrible league and they've been fantastic. Got 2 promotions I think in the leagues. This year they won 7 games in a row, beat Wexford by 2 points, who they're playing again, so that'll make it very, very exciting. And if you go back to last year, all right, the same game last year, it was in Portlaoise, and Longford had 16 wides, owned the ball, and they lost by a point. And I think Laois this year in the National League, they only won 2 games and got demoted. So the momentum was with Longford. They had a home, and of course they had Michael Quinn at centre back as well. So they were a better team this year.
Now the big talking point, that square ball, Kevin. And you're going to take us through this because this is one of the new rules.
Yeah. It's one of the best additions to the game in recent times. And why it wasn't in 2 years ago, I don't know, but there you go. There's 2 aspects to it. It's under foul play, it's a technical foul, and there's 2 aspects, as I say. The open play, or during play, or free play, whatever way you want to call it. There's no problem going into the square once you're outside it when the ball was kicked. Yeah. That's the difference. You must be outside when the ball is kicked. After that, it's game on. You can go in as long as you don't foul anybody. Yeah. Yeah. But in set play, like a sideline kick, a free kick, a 45, etc., the old rule essentially sticks, as in you cannot enter the small rectangle until the ball gets in there before you. And that's essentially where the controversy was today. I'd say it's down more to the ignorance of maybe the supporters and some of the lads in that they don't know it or they haven't adjusted to it properly. We might get a chance.
Let's have a look at it.
We might get a chance to have a look at it. I mean, that was a crucial moment. I think there are 2 points in it at this stage.
Yeah, would have changed the game.
No, it absolutely would have changed the game. But actually, before that, let's have a look at the one in the game I was looking at in some detail. Well outside it when the ball was kicked, so no problem following it in now. But in this instance, a great catch by Paul Durkin and clearance. But that, if he had got the touch on it, that would have been fine. That was open play, and he was outside it. This is set play. And the man to watch really here is Pádraig Clancy. When we get I think on the third viewing, you'll see it much more clearly.
It's in the redhead.
Yeah, watch out for now on the next showing. This is the very clear one. But what happens here, he's in the small rectangle before the ball gets in. You can see he's actually nearly in on the goal line if you see him, just to the left of the shot there.
At the post.
He's well inside, at the left-hand post. That's it, Des, yeah? So he's in it well before the ball gets in. Excellent spot by the referee, and I think he actually had a consult with his umpires as well, which is very good. Well, yeah. And he gets the decision right. I think the Laois lads are very angry because it's a key moment. They don't fully perhaps know the rule.
But
it's
spot
great.
on the referee.
Spot on, and it's a great rule, and it's going to add so much to the game.
Yeah.
And you know, the question always, why wasn't this in 2 years ago? And all the nonsense of last year would have been avoided. But it's really good.
All right then. You're a fan of this Longford team, I know, Desi, and Paul Barden in particular.
Yeah, I played with Paul in Railway Cup teams, and he's an absolutely fabulous footballer. Left foot, right foot. He's played for Longford for about 12 or 13 years at this stage, and every time he goes out on the pitch, he scores 4 or 5 points or gets a goal. Yeah. He's incredibly pacey when he gets the ball from deep, runs at pace, no one can keep into him, and his scoring ability is top-notch from distance, and I suppose getting them goals as well. If he plays with his club Clongish, it's a joy to watch. Anyone gets an opportunity, and anyone in Longford just rave about Paul Barden for years. If he was on one of the top teams in the country, every person would know him.
Let's have a look here today. And Quinn as well at centre-back, who was...
Massive addition.
Great. Massive addition. All these kids that come back from Australia, they come back better players. John Heslin